President, do you pay your taxes?
Of course.
Do you file your TD4 every year and get your tax return for your whatever, your first-time owner's insurance? Or... Oh, shucks,
I ain't got my return for last year yet. And I filed it since last year, April. So I ain't got a return yet. But yeah, I've been filing it every year for the past 11 years or so.
Right. Okay. I missed a few years in between. But I know I have to do it this year because I'm a first-time homeowners.
That does take long.
Yeah.
So that is why mine taking so long. I think I could claim it for 5 years.
For 5 years,
the first time I did it, it took like a year for me to get it back.
Yeah.
And this time, I filed it since last year and still I get last year, April. As the same day I get my TD4, I file it.
Yeah.
And now we in June. I ain't get that one yet. The one for, not last year, 2022. I ain't get my 2022 one yet. I filed that since last year. I ain't get that. I'm a 2023 return. I filed that in April and nothing. So I just have money there waiting to get back.
Yeah, I definitely have to do that because that money, I can't let that
So, I mean, it's a difference between that type of tax and the other type of tax, which is where it could kind of evade, you know. When you have an employer and the employer have all the ducks in a row, especially if it's government, your taxes come out automatically. As people who kind of have their own companies or are self-employed type things, do those people pay taxes?
That's
I mean, I fall in that category type.
Me too. I fall in there too, and I'm very, very concerned that I will end up in some sort of problem. But as far as I know, I kind of safe because you had to make plenty of money to get tax. Like,
not necessarily.
Well,
because like once you make a profit, depending on what type of entity you have, if it's sole trader, if it's a LLC, or whatever, you know, once you make a profit, you know, you might have to pay. I mean, it's always to...
I break it even.
Yeah, it's always to say, hey, my expenses is more, whatever, but... You know, if they decide to audit it, you gotta make sure you could.
Yeah, so...
You have an accountant?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But...
Well, accountant to be able to, like... I could...
Something so. All right, so the article here is like Data Analytics Center to track taxi beaters. They are going to put something in place to catch the people, right? So it's like the Uncle Sam coming for you. They seem to have some sort of Uncle Sam layout where it's going to automatically check it, right? So as part of its efforts to prevent tax evasion, the TT Revenue Authority, TTRA, will establish a data analytics center. The TTRA chairman, Nigel Edwards, said it is one of the measures to be implemented to enhance revenue collection and ensure compliance with tax laws. In an interview with Guardian Media yesterday, Edwards outlined the TTRA's objectives as it prepares to commence operations. In a ruling on Tuesday, the Court of Appeal deemed it constitutional for the TTRA to set up operations for tax collection. So apparently you couldn't do it before. Here's the paragraph that I will die over. Several large corporations have been identified as owing the Board of Inland Revenue. Among them is Movietongue, the owner of Movietongue, which owes $93 million in unpaid taxes and penalties, while the TT Radio Network, owned by Tony Chowlinon, popularly known as Chinese Laundry, owes $34 million. My issue is Trinidad and Tobago is such a place where you could put these things in place. You could have all the software, all the data analytics, all that, and they point in a particular direction, but you just have some people you can't touch. And if you touch those people, dominoes will start to fall for all kind of different reasons. First of all, how is a man racking up $93 million in taxes?
Yeah.
How long it taken to do that? And who watching that and saying, yeah, boy, that bad, eh? Okay, cool. Next year we go. And for it to reach 93 million, what you had to be doing, because that ain't happening in 1 year. That means there are some sort of person or people at the end of the workflow that have to pull the trigger So no matter how much data analytics you put in place, they will then pull the trigger on people like you and me. And big people who have rank or have status, who have, the haves, not the have-nots, they just going to be like, yeah, I'm not paying that. And you can't do anything about it. Because if you come for me, I could do so and so and so and so and so and so. That's the talk on the street.
In their cases, they trying to work out like a payment plan or something, but in my mind, what type of payment plan you going to work out to recover 93 million or 94 million? How long that will take?
Yeah, that's plenty money.
It kind of, honestly, it kind of ridiculous that it reached to that amount, because that is, as I said, that's not 1 year. It could be that those owing for a few years, and if you don't pay, it's our interest to pay. It's how to pay interest every month, a percentage every month. So it could be late the fees, penalties, all of that adding up. But still,
they did say penalties also.
Put it this way, right? If that was the IRS and a business owed 94 million, what do you think was going to happen?
What's Chapter 11 bankruptcy? You had to file for bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Because they can't pay it.
If it was a person, it'd be in jail.
Well, if it was a person, honestly, if it was a person, let me say for example, it's Donald Trump. The IRS, in the States, they tracking him for a while. But it are certain people who have businesses that's so chopped up, so wide-ranging, that when you try to charge them for taxes, they could lawyer up real easy and say all kind of things about this, and this was that transfer to here, and that is not a part of this business, or a part of that business is an expense for this. Because the accountants could cook the books very well. So the people who have the resources to do that, they tend to be able to avoid tax in the IRS. But that's only the biggest of the big. Like Elon Musk, real taxes owing. Donald Trump have plenty taxes owing. Somebody else, the GM, not the GM person, and plenty of the artists on them, like the rap artists on them, they just get
swipes.
Yes, them, the singers on them, they just get hit real hard because them is low hanging fruit because they always flossing the money now, and the IRS just be like, you could talk about how much money you made on tour and whatnot. Okay, cool. Knock. Yeah. We heard that you made this amount of money and that a certain amount of that goes for taxes. And those kind of people just get hard. But you see the business tycoons, they could fight through. So Movie Tongue and Chinese Laundry, they would count as our business tycoons in a sense. But the other people who have, I don't know, like you say you have your small, your company doing import and export. Let me say import and export. Import and export, those are fixed figures. Those figures are documented. It have documents on the port. It have documents from the company you buy it from or whatnot. And your company has a particular amount of money in making. Right, they can get tax easy. But let me say Movie Tongue. Movie Tongue have no, let me say, I know some of my students, they're going to work Movie Tongue and they're getting paid in cash. Like, our past students that get a little N in Movie Tongue for the holidays.
And they're getting paid in cash.
Envelope with money. I promise you, up to... I don't know. When's the last time that happened? But it was before COVID. But even at that point in time, everybody should have a bank account and they collecting money, right? Yeah. No, cash. And them kind of things, you could do that. And let me say you have a radio network, right? Well, you're only using the two examples that we have here because that's what it has, right? A radio network. And you have DJs, you have announcers, you have people in accounting, you have people in whatnot. You could you could say one station making a certain amount of money and another station not making a certain amount of money. And then you could say, okay, well, then we had to pay the people on this station a certain amount of money. And all sorts of things. And move plenty money around within the organization that had to figure out where the taxes will apply. Because it's not structured like the government. So, putting the data analytics in place, as you always say, you need to have good data. If you don't have good data to analyze, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot because nothing to look forward to.
You'd catch people who doing things legitimately. That's who you're gonna catch. People who not doing things according to the book, and as you say, the paying in cash or those are primarily cash business. Unless you go and start looking at people assets and how they're spending money every day and all of that, how are you going to catch somebody like that who, like you say, all those deal with is in cash? They might have a bank account or whatever, but primarily in cash. They're doing everything in cash. I think the other day we had a bill where I was trying to look at, getting to look at your assets and trying to come down on you based on that, but I don't think it went anyway. So how are you going to catch people who operate like that?
Well, I guess they have this goal, it's kind of utopic goal to say that every business must have a bank account now, and everything that you have to do you can't pay people they can't tell you can't pay people in cash anymore. You just, I don't know. They might be putting this thing in place and it will, I guess people who have to interact with the government in terms of getting contracts from the government, making payments, or the government paying you or some kind of thing like that, they might be the ones that have a stand to get caught in the data analytics checks and whatnot. But you see the companies that have nothing to do with the government, like Movietong and the TT Radio Network, Chinese Laundry and them, they have nothing to do with the government. The government have nothing to do with them. We have other companies that have zero contracts or what. Who will get, people like us get them road contracts on them, like Junior Sammy and Jasamco and all them places, right? They directly have to deal with the government to get money to thing and whatnot, and they have in the contract or the tender, they have to show the amount of money that they thing in or whatnot.
Well, they operate at a different level.
Oh yes,
and
yes,
they have
a way different
relationships with the government. You know what I mean. So
well, that's our next thing to bring up too. Will this data analytics call out some things, and then some people will just pull the trump card and be like, let me make a call.
In today's digital age, every business needs a strong online presence to reach new customers and stay competitive. But not every business needs a complex website or a full-fledged e-commerce solution. At makeITsimpleTT, we understand that every business has unique needs, and we offer a range of tailored solutions to fit those needs. Over the years, we've helped many businesses. Our services include website design and development. We create a professional and user-friendly website like these that represent your brand and drives results. Invoicing and payment processing. We can streamline your billing process with a user-friendly invoicing system that integrates seamlessly with most payment gateways, and you can receive online payments easily. We also do automated order forms, which allows you to collect orders online and customer information effortlessly and send back automated emails, notifications, and reminders, and then you just have to make the sale at the end. And in some cases, we offer custom software development, where we can create a specialized software system that meets your business's specific needs. But the key to all this is that we make it simple. If it's not easy for you to use, then we failed. So you can contact us today to learn more about how we can help make your business more successful. You can WhatsApp us at 1-868-308-8799, or you can visit makeITsimpleTT.com/business.